Welcome to r/marriage, a place for sharing the for better and for worse of marriage. Our next Reddit post is from Evelyn. How would you feel if your husband used porn of you generated using artificial intelligence instead of watching porn featuring other women? For women who are generally okay with porn in their marriage, how would you feel if your husband created porn of you using artificial intelligence and used that instead of watching porn featuring other women? Would it make you uncomfortable, make you feel appreciated, or neither? Assume the images remained completely private and that he was open and honest with you about creating and using them. Also, assume the images generated using artificial intelligence are meant to realistically depict you as you are today, without altering your body or improving your appearance in any way. The images are generated locally on his own computer, not through an online service. There's no realistic risk of them being leaked, stored on someone else's servers, or exposed through a hack. Yes, artificial intelligence can exist without the internet. The scenario is meant to focus only on how you feel about him creating and using them. Edit after about 30 posts it's clear that I need to call out some things. This situation came up because wife and I are traveling separate from each other for a few weeks. I, of course, would prefer her in person and in real life than something that wasn't genuinely her. Our relationship is healthy, and this wouldn't be a substitute for any healthy dynamic in the relationship. No, artificial intelligence is not private. Anything created online is there forever, regardless if you think it's safe, it's not. It's a slippery slope, making me do things I would probably never do, making men expect unrealistic things in real life and not be satisfied. The next Reddit post is from Luna. I feel like my husband is guilt-tripping me. My husband and I attended one of his childhood friends' weddings on a Sunday. Our kids were invited and our son is a handful. The groom actually invited my husband's mom too so she could help us with the kids and let us enjoy the wedding. The problem is she didn't help at all. My husband was able to relax, drink, and have fun while I spent pretty much the entire wedding taking care of the kids by myself. At one point, I was literally chasing my son through a crop field, which was exhausting. Our daughter was the flower girl, so we arrived an hour before the ceremony, and by the time we left we'd been there for about 7 hours. By then I was exhausted and frustrated, so I told my husband I wanted to leave. He agreed without hesitation. We decided not to say goodbye to the bride and groom because we didn't want to interrupt them or make a big scene. We figured we'd just quietly slip out. The next day, though, he started saying that if it had been one of my friends' weddings, we wouldn't have left like that. He said it was disrespectful, that the bride and groom are probably upset with us, and that he was too drunk to object to leaving. That really offended me because he happily agreed at the time, and now it feels like he's putting all the blame on me. I honestly can't imagine the bride and groom being upset that we left after 7 hours. Especially since they have kids themselves and know how exhausting it can be. Am I wrong here? Should we have made a point of saying goodbye, or is quietly leaving a wedding after being there that long pretty normal? What do you guys think? I would be pissed that you were the full-time childcare while the 2 other adults in your party didn't help. The next Reddit post is from Venus. Am I making a mistake by ending a 9-year relationship because I don't want children? 28-year-old woman. I'm a 28-year-old woman from India and I'm supposed to get married in a few months. My fiancé, a 28-year-old man, and I have been together for 9 years. We love each other deeply and that's what makes this so painful. The problem is that I don't want to be a mother. This isn't something I decided overnight. I've spent months thinking about it and recently I've been questioning myself almost every day. It's not just pregnancy, although pregnancy terrifies me. It's motherhood itself. I don't look at babies and feel that maternal instinct people talk about. I don't dream about having children. When I imagine my future, I imagine traveling, working, having a peaceful life with my husband, not raising kids. My fiancé wants children. He says he wants to be a father because, in his words, a family feels complete with children, and he genuinely likes the idea of living for them and them living for him. His family also expects grandchildren. His sister has said things like, "Of course you'll have children. How will the family line continue if you don't have kids?" When I brought up alternatives like adoption or surrogacy, my fiancé said something along the lines of, How will I explain that to my parents? That made me realize this isn't just a theoretical discussion, it will likely become real pressure after marriage. My fiancé has suggested that we get married first and decide later. He believes I might change my mind. The problem is that I don't think this is something people can simply talk me into. I've even told him that if I became a mother only to keep him happy, I fear I'd end up emotionally disconnected and resentful rather than happy. I don't want that for either of us. At the same time, I love him deeply, and the thought of losing a 9-year relationship is devastating. I'm struggling with a few questions. Has anyone here genuinely known they didn't want children and never changed their mind? Has anyone married hoping one partner would change, and how did that work out? For people who always wanted children, was there anything that could realistically have changed your mind? If you were in our situation, would you marry first and see later? Or would you resolve this before marriage? I'm not looking for people to convince me that motherhood is magical or that I'll change once I hold a baby. If your experience was genuinely different, I'd love to hear it, but I'm hoping for honest experiences from people who have lived through similar situations rather than reassurance in either direction. Thank you. Father of 2 here, don't have kids unless you really want them. That was our /B best of Redditor updates. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single